If you met Jin Kazuma when he was just a boy, you wouldn't figure he'd grow up to be one of the most dangerous men to ever live.
Unless you already knew about his super deadly and super crazy family.
Jin was raised by his single mother, who taught him the Kazuma family-style martial arts after his father abandoned them.
Story of my life. No, really, those training days with Mama Boomstick were some of the best times of my life.
One day, Jin's mother sensed a great evil approaching. She told him that if anything were to happen to her, he should seek out his grandfather, Heihachi Mishima.
Right on cue, a big-ass ogre showed up and attacked him. When Jin came to, his mom and Shrek were nowhere to be seen. Don't you hate it how moms are always right?
Thankfully, it wasn't too difficult for Jin to find Heihachi.
Yeah, he's super rich and has a really tall building. Kinda hard to miss.
So rich, in fact, that Heihachi owned a multinational conglomerate empire with its own banking, weaponry, military forces, and, just for kicks, a martial arts tournament.
Whoa! Why didn't Mom tell him about this? Time to collect on those missing Christmas presents, Granddad.
Well, she also forgot to mention that Heihachi is a terrible father who's obsessed with throwing his own son off cliffs. Nobody's perfect, I guess.
Regardless, under Heihachi's guidance, Jin trained and perfected the Mishima Ryu fighting style. With 2 types of martial arts mastered, he's got all sorts of techniques that can pack a punch.
Such as the flash punch combo and the electrically charged lightning screw uppercut.
Or his famous 10-hit combo chain. Once he gets you stuck in his flurry of punches and kicks, you're not going anywhere until he finishes you off with a classic dragon uppercut.
With these talents and a thirst for revenge, Jin entered his grandfather's King of Iron Fist tournament. There, he came face to face with the ogre once again. But instead of, interrogating him to find out what happened to his mother, Jin just killed him. Nice job, stupid. There goes the only lead you had.
And nothing tastes better than sweet, sweet revenge. Except for maybe Mom's cooking. Well, unfortunately, it didn't last long, because he got shot up by his grandfather. Oh, that son of a bitch! Mama always said never trust a bald man who tells his barber, give me the Wolverine.
But Jin had a little surprise for Heihachi, and for himself, actually. Thanks to his family line, he has inherited the dreaded and parasitic Devil Gene,
which turns him into a flying, laser-shooting demon person. Now that's one genetic disorder you can sign me up for.
Good news then. I've been working on an artificial digestible version of the Devil Gene myself.
Oh yeah? Would that happen to be the chewy fruit candy in the blue bucket?
What did you do?
Well, my dog Jack Spaniels was wandering around scrounging for food as he does, and I was wondering why he suddenly grew horns and wings.
You've got to be shitting me.
No, now he's shitting fire. Oh, speaking of which, I locked him up in the room with all the propane tanks. Well, come back next week for the full episode of Ryu vs. Jin. Held it in, buddy. I'm coming.